All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. And I have my good brother from my hometown, brother Oshay Duke Jackson, on with us live today. And today's topic is we're going to be speaking on so-called fake black media that's pretty much on its last dying breath. And in particular, the company or the entity in question is the root. Also, you might as well throw very unsmart brothers in that same category as well. Now, this is what's going on, O'Shea. Let me catch you up to speed. So,
Okay.
the root and very unsmart brothers are owned by Univision,
White gay dude.
some white Latinos,
Yeah.
which is a problem already. So, from the jump, you have so-called black media, right? That's supposed to be operating in the best interest of black people, who's owned by white Latinos. So that's red flag number one. So pretty much what's going on, the white Latinos are, for the most part, are saying, look, you Negroes aren't making a profit. We got to cut the fat off the meat. So now the root, very unsmart brothers who like to posture themselves as so-called intelligent black society. You know what I'm talking about, O'Shea. The Negroes probably went to HBCUs, you know, brag about their degrees, brag about how they, volunteer for the Obama campaign and how all of a sudden they know everything about politics. Socially ambiguous, typical liberal Negroes. They about to get the boot. They are about to get the boot. But this is the thing, O'Shea, and I know me and you somewhat don't see eye to eye on this. Now, you say that, hey, look, very unsmart brothers, the root, we have to give them a pass because black people haven't built up any industry or any infrastructure, any business of their own to get these brothers a job. Am I right or wrong? Go ahead and correct me if I'm right or wrong.
I wouldn't say give them a pass.
Okay.
But keep going.
Okay. But me personally, if you just look at the bigger picture, O'Shea, black people have a sellout culture. It's been ever since slavery. Negroes have been selling each other out for the past damn near 500 years, O'Shea. It's just we have an issue with sellout culture and lack of dignity. Because, think about it. You have so-called black media who's supposed to be representing black people, who's owned and ran by white Latinos. But we're supposed to trust this entity. And usually what happens, O'Shea, when Negroes sell out, it's only temporary. It ends up not working out for them, which we see here. So now they're on the chopping block. You got Negroes over there begging Beyonce and Jay-Z to buy them. It's gotten real low. I don't know if you remember the Root Articles hashtag. Do you remember that, the Root Articles?
Yes.
To the point where the articles might as well be satire. But these Negroes, they want people to take them serious. So it's pretty much a wrap. And the thing is, Negroes will sell out like it's slavery. Negroes were selling other Africans for moonshine and muskets. And then the same thing with, say, the root, very smart brothers, where you have people who are not getting paid to write articles. From what I understand, O'Shea, obviously you don't have the backing you're not backed by a major corporation like Univision. I don't know. Are you, O'Shea?
No.
But you pay all of your writers, correct?
Yes, I have absolutely no problem doing that, and do that sometimes 2 or 3 months in advance.
So you're trying to tell me the root can't split or cut in half or in quarters a collard green sandwich to some of their writers? But O'Shea, small O'Shea, and I'm not, trying to minimize what you do, brother, but small O'Shea can't pay his writers? So something's not adding up. So I'm just to the point now. Negroes are just selling out for pennies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are your thoughts, O'Shea?
I mean, I got a shout out to Sub-Zero.
Shout out for the thank you for the super chat. It's not universal. Universal is Univision. Univision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me just say this. And I just was abreast of this, and the root. It gets at least, from what I understand, like 2 or 3 million unique hits a month, which is, if you think about it, that's an excellent site.
But this is the thing, O'Shea, not to cut you off. Yeah. But are people, and shout out to Jason Black. If you go on their Twitter, no one's really retweeting. No one's really engaged. That's the issue, I think. And he made a point about that. But go ahead.
Well, see, and also Jason Black made a great point when the adpocalypse hit, and you had certain YouTubers, I won't call their names, because one of them, we admitted that relationship. But really, what's happening in Black America is tired of being victims, whether they want to admit it or not. A lot of people are tired of the white man has his foot on my neck and the same liberal propaganda. Black people are tired of the same ass shit because it gets nowhere. And Black people are really starting to see this. And what you're starting to see now are the like, as you said, the new Black media, the people who are coming out giving, let's say, certain things that actually produce results. Right. The root doesn't produce results. Very smart brothers. As good as a writer as Damon Young is, and it's the other guy, Panama Jackson, and these guys are stupid, by the way. If you watch this, you guys are dumb. You guys went Soldier's site, went to the root, and now they about to. This wasn't even within even a year, right? That these guys did this, and it just goes to show, and it's so sad because they actually got a grant to sponsor their site. Then you sell it, and now they're about to sell every fucking thing, and it just really goes to show that Black America is tired of a lot of the bullshit because you know what? It's the same shit, These people are trying to really get the lowest of Black America, and the lowest seeds of Black America are the people that say all the time, "The white man got his foot on my neck. We need reparations for everything." Blase. I'm not saying that's wrong, but those people don't support. And see, that's the thing. When you build your audience off of people who don't want to support, you're not going to get value readers. You're not going to get value subscribers. You're just looking for whiners and complainers in Black America. And don't get me wrong. We do have issues. Racism is it does exist. But why do people watch Dynasty Mirror? Search for Uhuru. Search for Uhuru is providing what? Solutions. Search for Uhuru is not all about bitching and moaning. It's not all about.
I'll call it whiny activism. Whiny activists out here.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Search for Uhuru lives what he talks about. This is not a guy who just sits back. This is a guy who's out on the road, out meeting people, out doing the work. And people gravitate towards that. This is the new Black media. And when you build your audience around a bunch of just, I know that racism exists, but when you try to go too far to try to make certain things that's really not there, just so you can put out an article, people start to get used to that. And it's not real. It's not genuine. So, of course, when a white man buys it from you, thinking you're going to turn a profit, now you don't have your Black audience no more because, number one, you build a Black audience off of bullshit. And then the people that you built can't help support you. So when you don't have no more, and you already been sold out, so they can't come back, you're done. Let me go ahead and get my donation on, player.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Hotel.
But you know what's crazy though, O'Shea? Now, the root, very unsmart brothers, they will come after brothers like Tariq Nasheed, the so-called Dusty Hoteps, as they call them. Mm-hmm. But look at who's catching the L now. Tariq's platform is growing. Mm-hmm. My platform is growing. Mm-hmm. All the Dusty Hoteppers, their platform is growing.
Yeah.
But the root, it's not working out. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me say this, and I got a lot of respect to Sa Neter. There's people that got what they want to say about Sa Neter are like Brother Ben X and the Nation of Islam are both factions. But Sonetta is true to his roots.
Mm-hmm.
Tariq Nasheed is true to his roots. In fact, I believe Sonetta had an award show. Shout out to him, like last week.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of people think that the white man's ice is colder, and you can't really build a base with black people supporting it. Like I come over here all the time, I see people supporting the super chat. You come to my shows, people support. People don't think that black people will support good products or good information or good strategies. That's what they don't think. And so when they see somebody like Tariq Nasheed or Jason Black or people like me in the manosphere, Negro manosphere, they're shook. Who do you think you are, Search for Uhuru, getting black people to support you with their dollars? Who do you think you are? And see, that's the whole thing. People don't think that black people actually can support something. Black people will support anything that's worthwhile, just like a white person will. If it's organized and if it's on point, and if you prove that black people, you ain't no con artist or con man, black people gonna support your shit if it's decent. But they don't want to sit there. But black people are a little bit more skeptical. And it takes sometimes a little bit longer because black people need to feel you out because black people are used to getting taken advantage of. So it takes a little longer to build that trust with the black audience. But once you build that trust with a black audience, and people know that you're invested in your platforms and growing it, brothers going to support it. Sisters going to support it. But a lot of our own people, we don't want to take that time to get to know our black customers, our black subscribers, what they want, build content for our audiences, because we rather run to the white man. And see, Tariq Nasheed don't need the white man. Sonetta damn sure don't need no white man, okay? And they ain't worried about no money. Black people got their own things and stuff because you cannot. The thing about this is also, I know I'm being long with it.
No,
when you have a black blog, black blogs have to work a different way than a white blog has to work. Just like you go to a black church, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, and you go to a white church, it's different.
Right.
You can't take a white church and have them run a black church. It's not going to be the same. You understand? And that's why black people need to run their own stuff because we know each other better than anybody else do. And that's the downfall of not believing in Black America. Black America has how much money, Dynasty, that we have as a spending power? Not income, but that we can spend $1.3 or $4 trillion. That's a lot of money.
Absolutely. So
you mean we can't create for our own people? These niggas are crazy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the N-word. But and they get everything that they deserve. Hotel. Everything.
But this is on the outside looking in, Oshay. Uh-huh. People at the root will make you think as if they're profitable, like they're the number one black media site out there on the net. But if Univision's getting rid of them, mm-hmm. and I don't know if anyone's dying to buy them, what does it really say about the root and very unsmart brothers?
I think what it says about the root and very smart brothers is that what we see is a changing tide in Black America. And I got to say this, and I'm not here to offend anybody because I know this is a rough. Your fans is a little mean, brother, but I'll go ahead and say it.
Go ahead.
A lot of blacks are starting to really see the damage of the we got True Secret, talking shit. Damage to the Democratic Party. And we know that the root, very smart brothers, they're very left-leaning.
Right.
We've been adhering to very left-leaning policies in our communities for a long time. To no avail. I mean, we could just look at Atlanta, we can look at Detroit, we can look at Memphis, we can look at all of our black cities and look at the black community is getting worse. Now, with Donald Trump in office, even though Donald Trump, you can say what you want to say about him, he's getting more support from Black America than ever before.
Right.
But now you have a lot of blacks kind of on the bubble, kind of on the cusp, like, okay, what I'm being taught about politics, it's not working out. So a lot of Black America is kind of like, okay, listen, now with the internet and people being educated, you have people like yourself, other little small little entities and stuff like that. Also, you think about it too, YouTube is playing a role, I think, in this transition also because a lot of black people, even though they like to read, you got more people probably watching more videos. Yeah, more people, just a lot of probably things going on there, you know.
Right.
So I think that you're starting to see a shift in the mental state of Black America slowly but surely. And I think that's needed. Black America is really conservative to the heart, really. But these policies that are being talked about in the root, and they've been talked about in Very Smart Brothers, they're not helping Black America. They're keeping Black behind. Go ahead.
All it is pretty much is if you don't, it's dusty feminism. And if you don't agree with the LGBTQ community, you're a homophobe. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. And then, of course, stop white supremacy here and there. But that's pretty much the gist of the root. And where white daddy at?
Well, I mean, and that is true. But I think that what we're seeing is, you can only, with a site like that, how much content can you keep creating about these same issues? Do you understand? After a while, it gets redundant.
But the thing is, Oshay, that's what they're doing. It's the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody in the chat room said, it's too much LGBTQ and bad winch pop propaganda. That's what it is, bro.
Well, let's talk. I mean, the bad witch propaganda. I've never really. What are you talking about as far as that?
We can't say that word. Swirler.
Yeah.
Swirler propaganda. Sorry about that. All right, go ahead, Oshay.
What kind of propaganda? I don't really read I mean, I read a few articles here and there that Damon Young posts and some other guys, but what kind of propaganda as far as swirling are they?
I mean, it's just, where white daddy at, interracial dating, just that. It's just pretty like this, Oshay. Me and you grew up on Ebony and Jet.
Mm-hmm.
Ebony and Jet, I think, spoke to the Black community as a collective.
Yes.
This shit now is not speaking to the Black community as a collective. It's speaking to certain pockets, but they're trying to push it as if they're speaking to the Black community as a whole. And that's where the issue is. And then if you don't agree with them, you're called names or whatnot. And I think that's why they don't have that's why they pretty much lost their audience. And in the situation they're in now. Because if they were profitable, Univision wouldn't be trying to get rid of them.
Right.
And if they were, people would be knocking on the door to buy them. But when you're head like begging Beyonce and Jay-Z to buy you, that's the issue.
Yeah, and Jay-Z is a businessman, so he ain't gonna buy him if they ain't making him no money. So,
and they just write a bunch of corny articles. This shit is so corny, Oshay. It's so corny.
I mean, let me also say this. What I found out being in this particular sector of YouTube, which is like Black YouTube, you have your people who are really, when I have my, hangouts with a lot of different people, different walks of life, like, your ABLs or whoever else. Mm-hmm. What I'm finding out is that you have a lot of Black people who are kind of in the middle.
Right. And see, Oshay, you do a great job as far as keeping the balance. See, the Root's not doing that shit.
Right.
Because you'll have ABL on, but then you'll have me on as well, or somebody who would, I would say, lean or think similar to me. So you're in the middle, which is a good thing, so people can hear both sides of the argument.
Right. And Black, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said the Root's not doing that.
Yeah, and Black America is so multifaceted because the thing is this. When we look at the numbers. We think that 95% of Black people vote Democrat. So all Blacks then must be okay with homosexuality. All Blacks must be okay with immigration issues. All Blacks must be. So these are the assumptions. I think what's really happening with the Root is they really don't know the community that they're trying to write to, and they don't understand the fact that Black America is just as diverse as anywhere. And there, you have all Black America is not let's say from the hood. You have your middle class Black America. You have a very educated class of Black America. You have Black America who looks at the world in many different ways. For an example, let's look at Black men. The Very Smart Brothers was a website started for Black men for your educated crowd of Black people. And I think that's another thing too. They also alienate certain pockets of Black America as blue collar. You get what I'm saying? They don't do a good job.
But they alienate the wrong group. Like when you write an article, Black heterosexual men are the white was it the white men of the Black community or white supremacists of the Black community? Like that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. I mean, and you not only do you alienate, because really what the Very Smart Brothers is, as you said, a group full of dudes who are. I mean, I think Damon the Champ Young went to. Damon Young went to. I don't know, was it Pittsburgh or Morehouse, something like that. You get these dudes that are really kind of like preppy kind of Black men. That's really what it's for. But really, a lot of Black men are not like that in their profile. They don't try to create content reaching to different people in Black America, and I think that also hurts them. And also, I mean, I have to say this: if you are a Black man and you have women writing for your site, and your site is for men, if that's your audience, and you have women writing for you on your behalf that push certain agendas that's not has to do with men, that also is something that bothers me. But again, I think it's a good case of them not knowing their audience. And again, as an editor in chief, times change. What works, like in football, it's just like the same thing. What plays to work in 2005 don't work in 2018. Everything shifts. So the content must shift as time shift. And I think they're also having a hard time with that too.
Do you think Hillary Clinton not being elected plays a role in them losing their audience? Because I think a lot of these, I would say, Black extreme left leaning publications were hoping to get seats right next to Hillary. And obviously that would bring credibility. But since that didn't happen, now they're in the situation they're in now. I mean, do you think that might be a reason? Or
I think what we're seeing is, and that's a good question. The thing is this: if Donald Trump is an asshole, yeah, but I think a lot of Black people like him more so than they want to admit. And the country is doing decent, Black unemployment is, so they say. I mean, I'm out of the country, but they say it's the lowest it's been in a long time. Mm-hmm. If Donald Trump was not doing, if the country was not doing so well, some people say, oh, well, he's just doing well because Obama, whatever the reason may be. If he was failing as a president, and if the administration was failing and the economy was failing, I think then they would have more to write about. But because it seems like he has things under control, you don't really have a lot to complain about when you have the lowest Black unemployment rate ever. And so when you say that, it's like, now it comes up, okay, well, damn, we get more money, we get more jobs. Well, where are the real issues? And the real thing is this, and I hate to say this.
Go ahead.
What needs to really start happening is now Black people have to put that mirror to their own face. And see, that's something that the Root is not willing to do. That's something that Very Smart Brothers are not ready to do. Because really the issue is we got a lot of in-house problems that need to be talked about. And that's something that, you can only blame certain factions, but now the real thing, and we all know this as Black people, we have our own issues. So now Trump is pretty much saying, okay, well, all right, listen, I'm trying to take away your excuses now in so many different words. So it's going to have to come back to, and that's the content that Black people want to hear the truth.
Right.
We don't care. We want to hear the truth. Give it to me raw, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how Black people are. Give it to me straight. Don't bullshit me. Give it to me straight. And Black people like it straight. We say how you feel. That's what we want to see. And if you're not going to do that, you'll have a problem.
Listen, now Dupe, in fact, let me read some of these super chats. Everybody, thank you so much for super chatting. Whenever Oshay comes on, the offering plate, people add a little more to the offering plate for the Search for a Who ministry. So I appreciate that. Whenever we have our guest pastor, whenever he comes on, Oshay, Pastor Jackson, the offering plate, fills up a little bit more. So I appreciate it. Shout out to Sub-Zero for the super chats. Let's see here. Who do we have? Hotep, that's Shay. Lola Love, I knew. Mr. Grandor, Gene 7 Art Tech. Who else do we got here? Inez Dukes, thank you for the super chat. Robert Morris, what's up? What the hell up, 7? Hotep Dynasty, big up to brother O'Shea. Get the likes up. Shout out to the town. Yeah, get the likes up, y'all. We have 200 people watching, only 64 likes. Let's get the likes up. Hit the like button. Enjoy the collard green sandwich. Come Conservative Dynasty. And Tara Baker. And Nadeep says they know their audience. They just have an agenda they are pushing.
That's true. I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like, why push the agenda to the point where it's going to sabotage what you're doing? That's the thing. People don't want to hear this shit.
Let me say this real quick, and this is why Malcolm X was saying once he left the Nation of Islam, he didn't want to accept white support. And there was a scene in that movie where he was walking, I think it was on Harvard campus, and the white lady was like, "Well, what can I do to help you?" He said, "Nothing." And the reason why, because he knew that if white people or anybody else start to support what you're doing, they're going to run it.
But bingo, there we go. The root.
They're going to run it.
There we go.
And the thing about Sa-Neter and Tariq Nasheed, they may not be as big as the root, but you can't run their shit. They're going to say it how they feel, you know? And the thing about it is that once, and maybe independently, the Very Smart Brothers was doing, somewhat decent. I know they were getting like 2 million views a month, unique views. But once Univision buys it, now they're going to put their spin on it as if they want. It's like, I mean, you play football. Right. You know how some certain people were good in certain, like let's say, for example, who was the dude that caught? Okay, this cornerback from the Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he caught like 2 interceptions that game against Neil O'Donnell, and then he ended up with was it Larry Davis?
I think it was.
Anyways,
yeah, go ahead.
What I want to say is, he went to Oakland, right?
No, I said
he was very good in that Dallas Cowboys offense, but once he got to Oakland, he was never the same. Played like a few years after that. You see, players in the NFL or NBA are as good as those systems that you put them in. Larry Brown, that's what it was. They're as good as the systems that you put them in. So a player who was doing good in one system, when he gets taken over by another system, that player may not be that good or effective. It's the same thing what happened with Steve Young. He was terrible with the Buccaneers, but put him with the West Coast offense and Bill Walsh, it's a good system for him. Now he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. It's the same thing with these individual websites. They're doing good by themselves, but once you get, quote unquote, white daddy running you in their agenda, it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Kobe after the injury. He was never the same. And that's what we're seeing now. Black media needs to be owned and ran and operated by black media. And this is why I think, for example, Nollywood in Nigeria, they're doing so good because they know what Africans want to see. I mean, just think of what would happen if Hollywood started getting into Nollywood. It won't be the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There'd be a different narrative being pushed. So, that's what I think is happening. Look who's in here in the chat. ABL. Look at it. ABL.
Here we go. Malcolm allegedly accepted white support privately. He said allegedly, so we're not going to jump down ABL's throat. He said allegedly.
Hotep to ABL.
Hotep to ABL. Now, dude.
She balling.
But what's crazy? Okay, so you have these so-called black intellectual, I'm against racism. We speak for the black community. Sites like The Root and Very Smart Brothers. But they have no issue being bought by Univision, which for the most part is anti-Afro-Latino. That's where I'm just like, I'm just like confused. Like, you guys speak for the black community allegedly, but you don't call out the racism. Like, you'll call out the racism in all these industries and entities and groups, but you're not going to call out the racism in Univision and how Afro-Latinos aren't properly represented in your own very company that owns you. I mean, why is that, Oshay? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, again, the black community has been, black media and black community has been for sale for so long. I mean, black churches, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. I mean, of course, they're not going to call those people out, man. That's just really what it is. And again, we got to go back to the fact that black people don't. Black people have a hard time dealing with each other and wanting to build our own media without white help. We just really don't think that it can work.
Right.
You know, so again, because we don't want to build those relationships with our audiences, we don't want to put in the work with our audiences. You know, when the white man says, "Okay, I'll do all of this for you," we got to be honest. Black people for usually they have a hard time with administration, with managerial things. You know, it's hard doing that. That takes up a lot of the day. So when a white man comes in and says, "Hey man, listen, bro, how would you like, hey, brother Diners? Look, wouldn't you like to just be in Africa in sandals all day, brother? Don't worry about nothing. Let me manage what you're doing, man. Just put your sandals on, man. Go out there, put your gown on, and hotep, brother. Just let me manage all of your shit." Mm-hmm. And you thinking like, "Damn, I don't have to do that. All I gotta do is wear these sandals and my Jesus cloak." Oh, hotep, hell yeah, bro. I manage my shit.
And it shakes the emails in Senegal, hell yeah.
Yeah. And you just be out there, be eating fufu and jollof sandwiches. And see that to us, that sounds good because we don't want to have to do those administrative and things because that's typically what white people that's kind of how they see the world. But really, black people have to start administrating and managing, and it's a hard job.
But the thing is, O'Shea, we've done it. That's the thing.
Well, we can do it, but the thing about it is that they don't want to do it. That's what black people would rather be in the front of something instead of in the back of something. Mm-hmm. That's how we are. We'd rather be the face of it, not behind it, because it's easier to be in the front. You know that. But again, that's something that we need to start doing. Hotep. I'm just saying, hotep.
O'Shea, this is off topic, but collard green sandwiches. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So,
okay, go ahead. Tell me.
There was a spot in LA, Inglewood, called Soul Burger, right?
Okay.
And so the concept originated from the mom. She owned it. Her son. They would take Thanksgiving leftovers and make turkey burgers and put the Thanksgiving leftovers on the turkey burger. So, like for example, there was a James Brown burger, which was a turkey burger with dressing and cranberry sauce and green on a burger. I like this shit. They only lasted a year because Negroes just couldn't. I mean, who puts Thanksgiving leftovers on their hamburger? And it couldn't catch on. But I think if they would have went into like a gentrified neighborhood with white folks might have loved that shit. But I enjoyed it. But it's just when you say collard green sandwiches, I just remember the collard green hamburger. There was literally a collard green hamburger. Mm-hmm. And I think you would have enjoyed that collard green hamburger, O'Shea.
I would have enjoyed it, and then, but we also got to talk about this underlying problem too.
Go ahead.
There's an underlying problem that we have, whereas. Okay, if you set up this system in this business, right? And if I want to depend on black support, because I think we have a twofold problem. A lot of entrepreneurs and black businesses don't really know how to go about it or have the right system in place, kind of like what ABL says, which is true. But I think in the case of like the Root and Very Smart Brothers, in those cases, they shouldn't have that problem. Now, I do know that they were understaffed from what I read when they sold it.
Right.
They said that, there was only like 2 or 3 of them and things like that. But
O'Shea, let me stop you right there. Why don't you just hire some more people and grow organically?
Well, again, because I'm in medical school and that's what I've done. Mm-hmm. I have a site that posts every day and then my YouTube channel, stuff like that. But again, when it comes to what you just suggested, a lot of people they're not really ready for that success. And that's another thing that we got to look at when we start like a YouTube channel, or a blog. Did you think that you would ever have 23,000 subscribers when you started YouTube?
Hold on, Oshay, pause. Let me stop you right there. Media Takeout, black owned, black ran from what I understand.
He's an African guy, right?
Right. And then you have the other sister, a Nigerian girl. Help me out, Oshay. I know you know who she is.
Linda IKG.
What's the name of her situation?
Linda IKG's blog.
No. Okay, so yeah, Media Takeout, I think, is the Nigerian girl. Help me out.
No. The Media Takeout is a Nigerian, is an African dude that.
Okay, so the Nigerian girl, guys, help me out in the chat room. Who's the Nigerian girl with the Bossa, I think?
Awesome. Okay.
There we go. Bossa. Black owned, black ran.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in fact, I would say Bossa Media Takeout might be doing, and then you had the bullshit World Star, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
But I mean, black owned, black ran, and it's Shade Room. I think it's Shade Room. I think it's Shade Room. Shade Room or Bossa is Nigerian owned by a girl. I think they're pretty much doing their own thing, from what I understand. And
yeah.
So that's my thing. Like, they chose to just hire more people.
I think when it comes to, this is what I can tell you about being on YouTube, or being on like, it's not basically being ready for the success when it happens. Like, when I started YouTube, I didn't think that I would ever do what I'm doing now. And nobody, you just start making YouTube, but nobody goes, I'm going to go on YouTube and have 100,000 subscribers. Right. That doesn't happen.
Exactly.
We just upload a few videos. Like when you contacted me, and I mean, I knew who you were, but when you contacted me, like, you weren't really doing shows like this.
No, I wasn't. No.
It's just something that it kind of happened. It kind of morphed into what you're doing now.
Right.
And as the success starts happening, then changes at the same time the success happens has to also be simultaneously occurring, right? I think what happens is when the success starts to come, and it's like, well, damn, I didn't have a strategy for me to do this. I didn't, and I don't know what those people's previous experience was and what they did before. Like, I don't know if Bossa, if they had ran a blog before. I don't know if Media Takeout did something before.
Shade Room was owned by the Nigerian girl. So Shade Room and Media Takeout owned by two Africans. I think they're doing their own thing, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't know what experience they had before. Obviously, if they had experience before, these guys, who's to say that, once the success comes, okay, this is what I need to do. And a lot of times, mentorship is important to be able to ask people, hey, once I get to this step, what's the next plan? What do I need to do? And I think that's also something, because it's easy for somebody to come out and say, I'll give you $100,000, because even like for example, Brandon Tatum,
right?
When he was doing so good on the social media, he didn't expect to blow up, and he got an offer for people to run his social media. He wasn't aware of, like, he took the offer because he's like, wow, that's more money I ever made in my life. So yeah, I'll do this.
Right.
But because he was hot, you know what I mean? And a lot of people get offers like that. You don't know, like, it's better for you to stay independent. I get offers all the time. I'm pretty sure anybody's YouTuber, you get these emails from people like,
I get them too. I don't open them. I mean, I get them too.
Yeah. And we'll give you this money if you join up with our network and stuff like that. A lot of people take those things because they feel like, they know what they're doing, and I have somebody can reach out to me. I can kind of focus on what I do best, which is, producing the videos or producing the content. I think a lot of our black sites, they just want to go ahead and just write and not actually do the administration work. AB, I know that now, but
hold on. Let me stop you right there. Brandon works for Turning Point USA. Go ahead, Oshay.
So I mean, I think that's the thing, because there's a difference between being the YouTube content creator or being the writer or the blogger, and then being the business mind behind the operation. It does take out a lot of information. It takes up a lot of energy. So I think that's also what we're having with. And then when a white person comes on, and once you built up a following, then you get somebody who comes in and do that. And then once you're not, and you sell your soul to them, if you're not doing, and then they're going to start, putting changes to you. when nothing was wrong with you in the first place. But again, that's black laziness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be able to hold on to what we have so we can control it, so we can hire other brothers and sisters to do what we need to do. That's what we should be doing as black people, but we don't. And what you mentioned was Nigerians, right? Here's the thing. How is a Haitian owning World Star Hip Hop, a Nigerian owning Bossa? No disrespect to any of those people, but this is African American, dominated media by people that should be operated by us.
Nigeria owns Media Takeout and Shade Room.
And that should be African American owned,
right?
But again, that's our problem though.
And I didn't know Lovely T.I. is Nigerian too. That's what people were saying. I didn't know that.
Lovely T. I don't know what Lovely T is. What is she? Anybody know?
Somebody said people are saying she's Nigerian.
I wouldn't doubt it. We got a lot of people in the African American pot, but we're not in their pots. You know what I'm saying? So
that's another video. That's another.
She is Nigerian. Yeah, but we about to don't get you. Dynas is getting everybody pot in Africa, bro. We coming out there. Don't worry, whole time. We coming out there. Yeah, we got something for y'all. Don't worry about nothing.
So I mean, Oshay, like, what do you think the end game is for like the Root and Very Unsmart Brothers? Like, what's their end? I'm trying to figure out, like, what are they trying to accomplish at the end of the day?
They're trying to accomplish what any left propaganda is trying to accomplish, to make black people feel like victims. And as a black conservative, let me say this: I sympathize and empathize with our struggle in America as African Americans, as blacks. Okay, I definitely, I will never tell you that racism don't exist or we don't have issues. But what I'm saying is that black people can fix a lot of our own problems. It's a lot of internal things that we can start to do that we can fix our own issues. For example, there was a lady who I watched a documentary about, a lady that was in Chicago. And what she did, her and her husband and family, they tried to buy all their products black owned.
Right.
Sometimes driving 40, 50 miles to do it. And this is the type of things that black people, African Americans now, I'm talking to you, that we need to do to try to, help us out, help our media things grow. It don't have to be like Eliar Mumi used to always say, it don't have to be like the white man, but it could be ours. And eventually it will get there. When I went to Brazil in May, and I went to the favelas, Rocinha favelas, and what you saw was a bunch of businesses that was owned and operated in economies that people were supporting, that lived in these big project housing kind of units. And it was so popular that the government had to infiltrate because there was so much money coming through there. And that's what black people have to do. We have to start really looking to support our own people, really to look to make good business too, not just because, oh, you black. No. Let my business be just as good as a white person's or Asian person's or anybody. And let me give you a reason why you should buy from me. Let me give you a reason why you should do business with me. And that's what African Americans need to start doing. And we can start to solve our own problems by ourselves, so that, the rate, so we just don't just can continue to, what's the white man? Oh, it's the white, and it is the white man to a certain degree. But also you play a role in how Black America looks. You play a role in how the Black community looks. You play a role in the success or failure in the Black community. And that also, it goes on every Black American's shoulders every day. You play a role in Black America. And if you don't want to see Black America get better, then it won't. And that's what, and you, as you get up as an African American, when you wake your ass up every morning, you got to put that fucking mirror to your face. And you have to be proud of where you're from, proud of what you stand for, and you individually have to say, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that I can do the best I can to see Black America gets better. I want to do the best, and that's something that every Black person got to do. Because I'm telling you right now, these other people, like you said, the media takeouts, the World Star Hip Hops, these people who are not, African American, hey, they coming in taking. Hey, listen. They're taking their money back to wherever they're from. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to do it, so they're gonna do it for you. The Asians, the Nigerians, all these people are taking advantage of stuff that African Americans should be controlling.
Right.
And it just goes to black stupidity and black dysfunctionality. You can't blame them for that. You know? Hotel.
No, I'm kind of just going through the Root, the cover site. How do you think the Root offers any value to the black collective?
No, you know what? I will say this. Oh, my dad used to always tell me this. A clock is right. A wrong clock is right twice a day.
Right.
So I would go ahead to say that if I were to read like 10 Root articles, would they make some points here and there?
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. Would they write? I mean, because Damon Young, did he make some points? Sure. You know, I'm pretty sure that they have some good talking points. Yeah, but overall, their talking points are disingenuous. And what black people need to hear is you Negroes are fucking up. That's what black people need to hear. What can you do, Negro? You. Okay. We know the white man is there. Okay. We know the Klan is there. We know the church got bombed in 1956 or whatever that year was. Okay, Negro, but what about you? See, that's what black people need to hear. But when they hear that, they get offended by that. And that's why Black America looks like what it looks like, because don't nobody want to be accountable for what they can do. And that's what black people need to hear.
I mean, do you think basically black people are waking up, and since we have more options in regards to media content, that's also playing a role in the Root and really legacy black media failing? Because I mean, this isn't just the Root. This is also Ebony, Essence. A lot of these legacy black media outlets that we grew up on they're pretty much failing and dying. Do you think it's because of social media, and brothers like me and you with our own platforms now, all you have to do is have a mic and a damn camera and you can go live instantly? Do you think that's playing a role as well?
Well, what I think is this. I think that as black media is developing, because what do they tell you when you come to YouTube? When you come to YouTube, they tell you.
I'll tell you what they tell you. You ain't credible.
Well, no. I mean, like when you look at like video creators or any content creators, they tell you to create content of value. So when I see Dynasty Mir with what's my man's name? Amin Ra in Kenya. That's a unique experience I can only get on Dynasty Mir's show. When you see me with Wode Maya in China, that's a topic that's unique, you know? And now what you're seeing is a lot of black content creators, some of the more intelligent ones, are coming with unique content. Right. With content that is beneficial. You're starting to see more channel contents and people talking about real estate, people talking about certain finance. You see things about health. You see things and solutions that affect black people on the day-to-day life. If it's black men, you might see a lot of more, your dating kind of guys. You see more your weightlifting kind of guys. Like YouTube is a space, and blogs are a space to be more unique and add value. So now the content creators are becoming more unique. Like in your space, there's nobody like you, and they add and bring value. So for example, there's a shout out to this family in Ghana called Native Born. If you don't mind me giving them a shout out. They're an African-American family out in Ghana. And let me just tell you what they're doing, okay? The apartment tour, the cost of rent in Ghana, okay? What is the general cost of living in Ghana? House tour and fellowship. Like, these are things that black people wanted to know, but never knew before. So now you have African Americans in different parts of the world that are bringing unique information and unique stuff that is beneficial. Like, for example, I have a podcast on every Saturday with black dudes in the United Kingdom. And so people tune in because that content is what? It's unique. You know what I'm saying? I did a show with Kenyon Meadows about finance, and it's unique. Like, if I let me just look at your last few uploads, if you don't mind me, Hotep. When I look at your videos, for example, what is your role in nationhood? The bigger the afro, the bigger the head wrap. Should black people invest in Akon's cryptocurrency? I'm starting to see a whole lot of things. What is the Nation of Islam doing for black people? When you look at that, you don't really see how far are you willing to go to succeed. For example, crab planes go to West Africa. How Black America can add value to Africa. See, these are things that black people think about. Right. Even the guy on the street thinks about this, but where can he find it? And see, that's the thing that the Rooters compete against. They're competing against all these people who are unique, and they have unique content, and they have networks now. Like, for example, you can reach out to Me and Do Show. I'm in Ra. You can reach out to Wode Maya, Natural Ghana Girl. And we share information. I am Mara, people like that. And so when they tune in because they know they're going to get unique information and they can learn something, like what the show you did with Daniel Simmons or Daniel about how to buy land in Ghana. Right. See, that's unique information. And see, that's something that the black media is not doing. It's about complaining or drama or all of that bullshit. And it's nothing of value. But when I watch Search for Uhuru, I get value. And it's hard to compete against unique value.
So why aren't they providing value? Because, I mean, you got to understand, you got a site called Very Smart Brothers in the room. They all pride themselves on being intelligent. Why aren't they creating value? Because you just said something. Because if they were valuable, they wouldn't be on the auction block right now.
Well, because it's the same reason why Negroes on YouTube want to talk about drama and gossip all day. It's a quick way to build an audience. But to build an audience of value, it takes time. Like, for example, when you're talking about this offline, you're like, man, I'm trying to get more subscribers. I want to get more numbers, which every YouTuber wants, right? And I was saying, Dynast, listen, you have value, so it takes longer to build. You see what I'm saying? Right. And the thing about it is when you have a value content creator or a blog, it takes time. I remember when I used to watch your live streams, you would have 30 people watching.
Right.
20 people watching. But now, every time you go live, you got 255, 300, 400. And that, why? You had to build value. And it's not a road that goes up. Right, less trolls. But when you're talking about gossip and bullshit, because that's easy searchable on SEO. That's what a lot of these guys are doing. They're looking for SEO tags. Like if I do a video today about Snoop Dogg or something like that, right? I'll get a lot of views on that versus evergreen content. You see what I'm saying? So people want to take the easy road to that because it's searchable. It pops up quicker. You get the subscribe, but you don't get the good subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And so nobody wants to take that hard road in Black America like Sonnetters did or Tariq Nasheed did. They built that audience over years. All right. 20-something years. That's why you can't fuck with Sonnet Art. Tariq Nasheed, you can't fuck with him because of his, what he's been doing for those times. So that's why they don't want to do that. And that's why Tariq will still be here and Sonnet will be here and them niggas will be somewhere else.
True. Let's hear everybody. We have 265 people watching, 117 likes. Let's get the likes up. Let's see if we got any questions in the chat room. Any questions in the chat room for Pastor for Pastor Jackson?
Yeah, hold up.
Any questions for Pastor Reverend Jackson?
This is the first time y'all didn't call me a coon today, man. What's going on, brother?
Don't curse it. Don't curse it. Don't curse it. I said don't curse it.
Don't curse me?
I said don't curse it.
Oh, I know. Hold on.
Yeah, because somebody might come in here.
Yeah, somebody might do it. But
we were rolling so well.
Any questions?
Any questions in the chat room?
Hey, Shirley. Oh, Shirley, cute. Hold on, let me look at her. Hey, baby. Cool. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Hey, somebody called you.
Yeah. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. God bless you.
Hey, ABL. Doug says,
Shirley's cute. Hey, Shirley.
We are going to convert you into a Pan-Africanist. Do you think there's any hope for ABL?
ABL Pan what?
Africanist. Do you think there's any hope? ABL was a Pan-Africanist, I think. Now once, a long time ago.
I'll tell you this, right? there's no hope for ABL. But I'll tell you, with me, I'll tell you, you had because before me and you started fellowshipping, I already had did some research on Africa, but I wasn't necessarily sure that I wanted to go, and I had my own.
Somebody says ABL is a pan-white nationalist.
Pan-white nationalist. Shout out to my brother. You know, I would say that you helped me to want to because we came on to the show. You was like, yeah, Negroes want to go everywhere but Africa. You Negroes, I see you Negroes. And we was on an interview. I was like, man, you talking to me. So that's when I decided to really go. And I will say that you helped me be more Pan-Africanist than I even ever imagined. Because you know me, I'm like a person that has my gripes and issues with certain Black immigrants. Right. You know, just in my personal life and stuff like that. But I will say that I look at Black people collectively as a whole differently because of you. I can honestly say that ABL is not necessarily understood. I mean, I am a Republican. I am a Black conservative, so I don't think ABL would never become a Pan-Africanist. However, I don't think that's going to happen, brother. But I will credit your platform for me wanting to work with African YouTubers, because I don't think I would never have worked with Wode Maya had it not be for you. I wouldn't have worked with I Am Mara, and I'm going to Ghana next month to go kick it with him. So I will say, man, that your platform actually has helped shape me, and so we could at least bring it to the conversation, you know. So I will say, you know, I'm proud of being an African American, but I also know that if I don't contribute to Africa in a certain kind of way, my life is incomplete. This is the reason why I go back. This is, you know, reason why I want to go help and do things, you know, on the continent, because, you know, I feel an obligation. Now, the only reason why I wouldn't consider myself to be Pan-African is because I believe that the powers that be inside of the continent don't really want that change. So that's the only reason why I'm skeptical. But it's not because, you know, that's the only reason why I wouldn't consider myself to be one.
I think that'll be another video. It's going to happen. It's just, again, it's leadership's the issue. But once you start putting pressure to Negroes' necks, you know, that could change. But
you want to do it by force, huh? Old William Tubman, huh?
I'll say all that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pan-Africanism cannot exist without nationalism on the continent, which is not there. ABL, you make a great point. We'll discuss that in another video. So, Oshay, what's the future of like Black media? Like, what's Black news media? Like, what's the
me and you keeping it real? That's what it is. Shit. You know, the Black people want. You know what? I can't really speak for the African crew, but I know African Americans. Keep it real. We just want to know. Give it to us straight, man. You know, if we get mad, we get mad, but give it to us straight. Right. That's what Black people want, because the Black people, they may not ever admit it, but we know the truth. We know when shit is. We know when things are messed up. We know when things ain't right. Right. I think what Black people are tired of being lied to. Black people are looking for solutions. Black people are looking for the truth. They're not looking to be taken advantage of, because our own people have been taking advantage of us in so many years. We're looking for a media source that we can trust, okay? And that's going to keep it real. We don't expect it to be perfect, but we do expect, you know, media to be honest, call it how you see it, even if I don't agree with it. And we might troll in the comments and talk shit, but we coming back because we know we're forgiving people. You know what I mean? We'd be mad at you for like 5 minutes, but we know how that is. So I think that's what it is. I think that Black people are looking for, you know, other Black people who are doing things that we didn't think about. Like, for example, had it not be for YouTube, I wouldn't have known that Black people are in Ghana and African Americans. You have African Americans doing things in Ukraine. You have African Americans doing things in Japan. Really? Like the average brother on the street don't know this. You know what I mean? You know, there are channels where Black dudes are going to starting all kind of online businesses that are successful, or are going to engineering school that are, you know, we don't really know the power that's really in the African American diaspora that's out there. And I think that really what Black people are looking for are different things, different experiences, something that's different outside of where we're from, what we have experienced. And we're looking to hook up and connect with those Blacks. We're looking for good information, and we're looking to be stimulated, because YouTube, I use YouTube for medical school, don't get me wrong, but you also use YouTube for information, not only just entertainment, but you're looking for YouTube to learn. It's a learning tool.
Right.
And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for strategies. We're looking for, just like anybody else. White people look for strategies. Black people look for strategies, but we're looking for it to be catered toward us.
Well, brother, I appreciate everything, brother Duke Jackson. We have a lot of brothers. Everybody, thank you so much for donating to the Search for Uhuru Ministries. I just know when brother Duke Jackson, when he visits our church, our congregation, you brothers get excited and you guys donate a little bit more. Hotep, Kevin Green.
What up, man?
Yeah.
Y'all around the donations for doing my show, shit. There's gonna be a lot of likes.
Somebody was asking, shout out to Chima, my dude, that's my boy. How do you feel about these Negroes who say they're natives and Hebrew Israelites? No, it was off topic, but Chima, that's my boy.
What do I feel about those dudes who are natives and Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I will say this. Because I'm a changed person. I probably would have 2 years ago, nigga, get your ass off my face. You know what I'm saying? But now, I think what we need to deal with is we're gonna have those brothers who are gonna look at themselves like that, and whether we agree with them or not, they are a part of the community, right? They look at life a different way. And for me, I'm willing to have a conversation with any brother. No matter what you look at yourself, you don't look at yourself as African American, you look at yourself as Hebrew or natural, whatever. I'm not trying to change that. But also, but they are a part of the conversation too, whether we like them or not. And I think that that's what we have to do as Blacks, is because people are going to see the world from a very unique way that don't make no sense. Because I'll be watching some of these Hotep channels and I'll be like, what are you teaching right now? I don't understand what you're talking about. But you know what? Yeah. For example, brother, what's the guy? Brother Sanchez. He's a flat earther guy. He came on to my show and did a flat earth debate with a lot of guys. And bro, I didn't know what he was talking about. But again, he's my brother, right? Because I have to respect his opinion, because why? We're from the same lineage. And I got to have his back. And I think that's what we need to start doing. We need to stop trying to change these people's minds about how they see themselves or see the world. And then we just need to come on. Okay, brother, whatever you want to do, you want to be a Hebrew Israelite. You was the first Indian. Okay, brother. Well, God bless you. God bless the Most High, brother. I'm not trying to argue with you about that. But what do you think that we can, what is something in common that we can talk about? What is something that's bothering you? And then when you start talking to people like that, you find out you have a lot more in common with them than you don't. And that's the problem with us. We want to find out as Black folks what we can't have in common. Oh, well, nigga, you coon. And I'm make a video, and they can make another video about you. But really, you and the brother agree with 85% of the things.
Right.
And that's all that we need to start to do, is what do we agree? I know Dinah's getting tired because after about an hour.
No. We can rock for about, I want to ask, at least two more questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. Brother in the chat room says, Black media should be about collectively unifying the voices of those with common interests for Black socioeconomic advancement.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
That's absolutely true. That's true. And again, some of y'all have Black children. You know what I mean? You have Black sons or Black daughters. And, we need to be looking at those people. For example, I just found out in Sacramento that have you ever heard of a street called Norwood, Dinah?
Where's it at?
You live in the South. You wouldn't know about that place.
North side. Yeah,
in the hood, it's like a 2-bedroom is like $1,700 a month. And that's a lot of money. I'm thinking I'm paying a lot of money in Poland. and I'm in a gated community paying like $600 a month, right? And but this is what's happening in America. The rents are going up, but the wages are not going up.
Right.
You know, and what's going to happen if Black people don't start sticking together? Well, the whites, as we know in Sacramento, because everything like in Del Paso Heights and stuff, it's close to downtown. So white people, as always, they're looking to come into.
Is DPH gentrifying yet? You know, I don't.
Oh yeah.
Like I go to Arden and then I go to Arden Mall. That's as far as I go, and then I don't.
You don't want to come to Grant because we.
I turn my ground. Go to the South Side.
Yeah. We don't. We know you don't want the problems. But you know, my mom is getting letters all the time about her house. My grandma, people want to buy her house, right? White people are coming into, or Asians, they want to come into the core of the city because the buses are there, the light rails are there. You know, it's skipping a hop from downtown where all the jobs are at, and so they're pricing Blacks out or people out of the market. And you know, and now you even have like the soul food restaurants are being owned by Asians. Now, come on, think about this. Could you ever see a Black person in a Chinese neighborhood owning a Chinese restaurant? You'll never see that.
Listen. In LA, Hispanics own soul food restaurants in Black neighborhoods.
I mean, can you blame the white man? I mean, who want to blame the white man for that? I just need to know, because this is what's going on. So if you don't start really trying to support your Black people, and that means you raising the cost, you know, be cost effective, do good business, keep your network up, because the costs are going high, right? And if let's say Shirley has a business and she sells she's a catering business and I have a conference, her price might be a little bit more, but she got a son, a daughter, a husband. Yeah, we're gonna do business with her. You know what I mean? We're gonna tell everybody to do business with her. That's ours, right? Because we know that she has children that are African American, and they're gonna be able, when they go to college and come back, we want them to come back to our community and represent us. See, we don't look at the long-term things like that. We need to, you know, if we want to invest in the kids have to come back to the community to say, okay, yeah, this community supported us. Okay, now I have to, you know, I want to come back and help our people. But we do that. Our brightest and our smartest people end up where? Like you're going to Africa pretty soon. Yep. I'm over here in Poland, you know, thinking about immigrating to the United Kingdom once I'm done what I'm doing. So we don't do enough for the people, to our brightest folks, to come back and want to deal with us. But if we start really building up those things, we're going to have people that are on our behalf. And that's what we need to do. Our own kids and children, they are our own real estate. And this is the reason why I try to tell you people, even with my website, you know, with my YouTube money and my Patreon money, it's not a lot. I pay all my people, all my Black writers, you know. So start trying to support Black businesses that are good, that are compromised. I'm not telling you to support no Black businesses that are bad, right? But if they're good and they're competitive, give it to the Black, because that Black person has Black kids. They got a Black husband or a Black wife. You know, and that's how we kind of get this ball rolling and start connecting people and networking and stuff like that. That's what we need to do.
Shut your. I was about to cuss and get ghetto.
Who's it? Africanos, Americanos?
Yeah, I was about to cuss and get ghetto.
When are you going to get married? When your sister stop fucking my cousin.
What Oshay gonna do? We gonna call your sister up and we gonna run a G on her. That's what we gonna do. Africanos, Americanos, and we're gonna speak Spanish to her as we do it. Espanol. That's what we're gonna do. Africanos, Americanos.
Yeah, man.
Call your sister and your mom. All right.
No, we ain't gonna call. We'll leave my mom at it. So, but if you got any cousins for me, planetoshay@gmail.com, player. Hotel.
That's what we're gonna do. But anyways, brother, how can the people like Africanos, Americanos, how can they reach out to you?
Well, everybody but him, you can email me at planetoshay@gmail.com. Everybody but him. Okay, because if he email me, I'm gonna block you.
Right.
But planetoshay@gmail.com. I just really want to thank you, you know, for bringing me on here, you know, because I love my people, you know, they have a certain view of me. And I will tell you like this, even on YouTube, people can change in certain aspects. I'm not necessarily the same person I was, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh shit! Hold on. Let me apologize, bro. I missed that. I took the question. Africanos, Americanos. Let me apologize to you. I mistook your question. I will be getting married soon. Okay, I will be getting married soon. I'm sorry, brother. I apologize.
No, and I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this. Hey, I thought you were open to different. I am, man. I just know you trolling me.
My
But
bad, Africanos. I misread your question. I thought you was on some funny stuff. So I apologize. I will be getting married soon. There you go. My bad.
And I'll be getting married when I finish. I'm like I said, bro. I'm in Poland studying medicine. So I had somebody I was trying to marry, but Hotep. Oh, that's another story. So the video, and a little bit later. But what was you gonna say, Dice?
Africanos, press 1 if you accept my apology, because I didn't want to get ghetto, and I did get ghetto for the wrong reason. So Africanos, press 1 if you accept my apology. But anyways, brother, Oshay, how can everybody reach you? Like, your show, and I know you got a show coming up, and
planetoshay@gmail.com. That's how you can reach me. Like I said, I like your platform. It's a great platform, and I love coming over here. Today they were a little bit nicer, man, because the last time I came over, last few times, bro, it was woo-wee. I wish I could talk about Aunt Nam right now.
You want to talk about who? You want to talk about who?
Aunt Nam, because he always trying to troll me.
Brother, this is what I do, Oshay. You gotta leave the N word out if you can. I mean, you can try, but I'll give you got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, I appreciate everybody. I'm gonna be nice.
Okay. I was gonna give you 2 minutes to go in on Aunt Nam.
No, I'm not gonna go in on him. Because Hotep, brother, you just need to stop. You always bother me, brother, when I come over. I had to block you from my channels and things, man. Why you always bother me, player? I'm just saying, man, you don't need to be bothering me. I know I'm an ugly, good-looking dude, man. I know at the same time you kind of bamboozled with all this game I got. But seriously, I appreciate you for having me coming on, man. It's always a good thing to be able to speak to the people, speak to Black people, not just Black Americans, but all Blacks. And even though me and you got some differences of opinion, it's always a good thing. So this is a very educated crowd. I love this crowd. And thank you for having me.
All right, y'all. And so Oshay, thank you once again for joining us. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also go to Africa Personified on those same platforms. Also make sure you go to searchforuhuru.com, dynastyamir.com, amazon.com, search your name, Dynasty Amir, and Africa Personified.Africa. Until next time, family, peace.
Hotep, peace.
Hotep.